Speak. Hi, I'm Azzy.
Hello. Yes, this is James.
How y'all? How we're doing? This was gonna be another Let's Talk episode. That's a cool. Where's that damn title sequence? Bring that title sequence out of there.
It's just an explosion
I
in the
don't
background.
know. Mr.
Thank you.
Sandman, bring me a dream.
Make her the cutest that I've ever seen. Give her 2 lips with roses and clovers, and tell her that her lonesome nights are over. Alright, I'm gonna stop.
Anyway,
I'm gonna stop
that's
flexing.
that's the extended title sequence for the. I don't know what I'm doing right now.
Right.
We actually chose a topic for this one.
I know, it's crazy. I saw this shit today, and I'm still angry about it. I saw this shit like
oh boy,
an hour ago, and it pisses me off. It was a tweet from someone that I follow. That's still so weird to say. Like, I don't... That all those words are really uncomfortable in my mouth still.
You're not used to being social media active.
I'm really not. I don't.
We said this before. The only thing I've ever used social media for is, oh wow, that's a really cool, serene picture of nature.
Yeah.
Hey, my friend is texting me. That's it.
That's pretty much
Those 2 things. That's it.
And that's not even what people use Twitter for. So now I'm like, what the fuck do I do with this? And now I'm just like, well, I guess I can get all my political crap here. And also, my YouTubers that I like, this is like the one platform that I can talk to them, which was proved today, thank you very much.
Ta-da! It's the one platform where they actually see it.
Yeah, they actually, like, you're guaranteed pretty much to see it, or at least glance at it, which is enough for me, honestly.
That's enough.
Anyway, so this is something that I saw. So apparently, in Texas, it is a thing for parents. So they have this thing called the STAAR test, which is basically... If you live in the United States, then your state has a test that someone takes in probably sophomore year that you are required to take to advance to the next level. Like, that's just... And also you're required to, like, graduate, right? You just have to take that test. Some people call it the Oaks test. Some states call it the STAAR test. Every state has its own name. Like, we're all familiar with that test.
Yeah.
Apparently, it is a thing for parents in fucking Texas to, like... try and opt out of the test, which it's not allowed. There are ways that you can not necessarily pass the test to graduate, and that's fine, right? There's certain requirements that you have to meet for that to get that. But what they do is they try and opt out of the test by, like, trying to prove that their totally normal-ass, run-of-the-mill kid is somehow, like, disabled mentally so that they don't have to get the required score in order to...
Okay.
And I'm like...
Okay.
What the fuck is wrong with people?
Right.
Yeah, they have
That's a really good topic.
They force
Let's have a topic on mental disabilities.
But no, I read that fucking tweet and I was like, there's no way. This isn't a real thing. Because Giraffe retweeted something about it.
Researched it.
And then I read the original post and I was like, you're fucking kidding me. This is an actual thing that people do? There's no way.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, and apparently it is. Like, parents will, like, appeal to the fucking school committee, and then, like, they'll have their child, like, appear before a committee, they go through all these, like, examinations and shit, which, by the way, does not help the kid at all, because now they're thinking, like, damn, am I actually, like, mentally disabled now? No, you're probably just not that bright in general, and that's probably a failing of the school board. Or your parents are just a dick, or just dicks, and they're like, I don't think my kid can pass it for whatever reason, and so I don't think he should have to take the test. Bitch, everybody has to take the fucking test. Everybody across this entire nation, 150 million people gotta take that goddamn test. He's not special. He's actually not special.
Like, yeah. Ours is called, Maryland, for Maryland it's called HSAs.
In Oregon it was the Oaks test. And... you know, it's a pain everywhere you go. But honestly, first of all, the test isn't even that difficult. I don't know why.
It's not.
It's
but
never
it's just
that
a fucking dread.
And it's not even, yeah.
Because I do have a disability when I have ADD, which is not uncommon, right? And it turns out, like, it's basically attention deficit disorder, right? Attention deficit disorder basically makes everything that's not physically entertaining, meaning art, music, writing, specifically creatively, and anything like that, difficult to do if I have to hold still.
Okay.
So when it came to the SATs, like, by then I had gotten the accommodation, and the accommodation was, hey, you get a little bit of extra time, but it was still sitting in a fucking room.
Right.
And it turns out, like, where I had to go take the SATs was different than Einstein. I couldn't take it at Einstein because by then it was too late to take it on the date that I wanted to. So, you can go to any school who takes the same test in this state.
Right.
So I went to some school in Prince George's County where I grew up.
Jesus.
And I'm like, yo, this is where I be going? And, like, that's not too bad, but, like, PG County, like, everybody thinks it's not the hood anymore because you're outside of DC, but it still is. It's just as bad as everywhere else. And you're like, God damn it. It's no improvement. And so I go inside the school and everything, and, like, for real, like, I've never seen, like, a more blatantly obvious difference between the classes. Because my parents specifically moved me out to Germantown, and we were going to school in Silver Spring.
Wow.
Because, like, they didn't want me to have to get involved with gang violence, hood shit, because they knew how bad it would be.
Wow.
And, like, granted, fuck it. And I knew, because I spent so much time down there at church with my fam. Like, I knew how bad it could be. But I'm living all the way out in Germantown, so I didn't really know. So I go to take the SAT. I saw, like, the building was more run down. The water fountains were fucking gross. I didn't even go to those. But I felt like shit because, like, everybody was getting classrooms of, like, 10 and 20 different students. Bro, I was in a classroom by myself with one teacher. Nobody else at this school going to the test right now had the same accommodation, so I'm sitting there fucking alone.
Oh, Jesus.
And I was there for, like, 7.5 hours to take the SAT.
Christ.
It was so terrible. But my parents made it up to me immediately after. They were waiting there. It was a great summer. It was a great day right before the end of the year. We all went roller skating immediately.
Hey, nice.
But, like, I'm sitting right here, right now, telling you, dead serious, if somebody lied just to get an accommodation where they could sit in a room longer and get a lower score and still pass, you can go to hell.
Oh, no,
because I spent 7 hours in that room trying my hardest and still got some other people's lowest score.
Yeah. Oh, no, it's even...
And people were... You know how everybody's like, take the SAT twice. I was like, hell no! Nope!
Yeah.
I'm not taking it twice.
I think the fuck not.
You want me to take that twice? You better bring beer and
exactly.
hookers because I'm...
Exactly. That's what the fuck is up. No. And here's the thing. They're not even... That's the thing. You actually have ADD. So you qualify for those requirements. Meaning, they're sending dead-ass, whole-ass, normal-ass, ain't nothing shit wrong with you. Kids, they're trying to make it seem like, oh, he has this, and this, which means he doesn't even... Like, that's the thing. You're not... If you get the requirement, you're still required to sit for the fucking test.
Yeah.
You still have to sit in the room and purposefully fail.
Mm-hmm.
And they're arguing like, oh, he shouldn't have to take it to graduate. And I'm like, that's not the fucking point. That's not the problem, you dumb bitch. The problem is that
the problem is you're a dumb bitch.
You're a dumb bitch. That's what fucking you're a dumb, evil, vindictive bitch is the problem. Is what is wrong with this country currently, right? That's the issue.
That's not the only issue either, which is the worst part.
No, it's not. And the thing is, like, look, I'm sorry if we have any Texas fans, but y'all education system is all fucked, alright? Like, and I feel like you know that. Many of you already know that, which means you don't actually take offense to what I'm about to say. But, like, if the education system is so bad to where regular people, like, nothing wrong with it. And I'm not saying that, like, you know, people with disabilities are somehow abnormal. I mean, technically they are, but it's fine, you know. What fucks me up is that, like, if you're willing to put your child through that whole process of, like, going through, sitting in front of a committee, getting an evaluation, and trying to convince, like, an entire board that there's something wrong enough with your child where they don't have to pass a test that isn't particularly difficult if you paid attention a little bit, right?
A little bit.
Like, your kid is dumb as fuck, not for, like, medical reasons, it's just because he's just dumb as fuck.
You know, you can drop your kid out.
Right.
Like, you can... Okay, in Maryland, I know you can legally drop out junior year. You can drop out... No, it's not junior year, it's 16. You can legally drop out when you're 16. Because the youngest working age is 15.
Okay.
So it's like, you know, at least by now he can be employed.
Oh, and that's Maryland. Texas laws are way more lenient.
I know they're different. They're
way more lenient,
my point.
Too.
I know, that's my point. And so what I'm saying is, you can probably drop out earlier than that. If you didn't want to fucking take the test...
Not just that, you can homeschool your child and have no legal, like, teaching, like, there are no requirements for you to homeschool your child. You don't have to have a degree, you don't have to have a teacher's license.
Right, exactly. They're not. You don't have to have a direct system to... You know why? Because my mom did not graduate college, but I was homeschooled from second grade to third grade. Second grade to third grade. I was homeschooled for 2 years. That was perfectly normal. Like, you can take homeschooling and not be educated at all, because there's a whole curriculum thing that they send you.
Exactly.
And it's like, here's exactly what you need to do to finish, to get up until this point. Right. It doesn't matter how long it takes you, because now you're homeschooled. You're on a different set of requirements. So just finish this and you're good. If you want to drop out, you can. If you don't want to deal with the shitty school systems that exist, please do. I'd advocate for dropping out, even though I graduated, not because, like, I'm saying, hey, go do nothing with yourself, but, and not because I'm saying if you drop out immediately, you're just Albert Einstein. Not that either. But, like, just because you drop out, no, you're not a genius. But you don't have to finish school to do something with your life.
Right. Some
you don't
people
have to
really
finish
thrive
school
in that
to
environment.
do what you want with your life.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Some people really thrive in the high school environment. Like, some people just do well the way high school is run, but a lot of people don't, and that's fine. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah.
Some people don't.
Also, for a lot of, like, social reasons. Like, you know, high schoolers are assholes. Everybody knows this.
Middle schoolers, no. Middle schoolers are assholes.
Middle schoolers and high schoolers. High schoolers are assholes. Like, that's just their job. It's part of the requirements of being a high schooler. Like, you just mean as shit for no reason.
Yeah.
And so, you know, if high school, and some people just aren't equipped to handle that kind of stress and just basic human cruelty. And if that's you, then you shouldn't be forced to be put in that situation.
Yeah, oh yeah. Oh, absolutely.
And another thing is, like, high school is really unhealthy. Like, there's no job on the market today that, like, people want to work in that requires you to get up at 7 a.m. If not earlier. I wake up at 4 a.m. every morning to get to school. And that's just because I require 2 hours to wake up to get to school. I have to leave.
That's
house.
Not exactly true. Jacob works the opening shift.
I mean, okay,
and he's got to get up at 5. The opening shift, that's it. The funny thing is, I was surprised. New York, they're like, oh yeah, it's the city that never fucking sleeps. True. Absolutely true. You go to Times Square any time of night, the lights are still on.
Exactly.
But if you go to Times Square between midnight and 4 a.m., there are 12 people walking about.
Right. People
New York,
people sleep.
the city never sleeps? Excuse me? Oh, people sleep. The city doesn't. And because people sleep, there are plenty of places that aren't open 24 hours. On top of that, places that only open, like, after 10 a.m. And I'm like, wait, you're in New York on Broadway and you only open after 10 a.m.?
Exactly.
And then on Sundays after 10:30? Do you even know how much money you're losing right now? Oh, it's just because you give a shit about your employees. Well, that's rare.
I know. Wait, what? That's the thing?
On to the next store. Wait, that's a thing? Do you know that Amazon makes more than you in 5 minutes than you do in a day? Sorry. I had something in my throat that I needed to get out. I'll be walking. Stores open late in a lot of New York. Surprise, motherfucker.
Indeed. And a lot of jobs, like, the standard time to open is 9 a.m.
Is 9 a.m.
Exactly.
Yeah, 9 to 5.
So why the fuck does any school start at 7:15?
Yeah.
And people are like, it's for traffic reasons. And I'm like, okay.
Actually, surprise, traffic is still bad that early in the morning.
I'm not saying that, like, you know, if you have to know which career you want to be in by the time you hit, like, junior year. I didn't know, and I'm in senior year, and I probably won't know. Also, I want them to stop teaching, like, jobs, like, getting a career as if it's what you have to do for the rest of your life. Can we stop that shit, please? Yeah. Please.
Why aren't there high school classes on how to make a living on YouTube?
Exactly, that's what's up. Also, who says you have to have the same job for the rest of your life?
That's only what they did in the industrial age. And actually, the funny thing about the school systems that I found out a long time ago, I found this out like sophomore year, and I was 100% done with high school ever since then. Like, the way that high schools are currently run, mostly throughout the entire world, you go to school early in the morning, you sit in a classroom with desks that are in lines, you raise your hand to speak.
Yeah.
You have one instructor. The lights are fluorescent and also in rows on the ceiling. That school system was literally set up in the Industrial Revolution.
Yeah.
So that you could train children to be ready to work in the assembly line.
Yeah.
We no longer work in the assembly line as a regular way of doing anything. So why do we keep that system?
Exactly.
Why do we keep that system? Why is that the only free system? Any other type of system costs money. A kinesthetic school costs money. Kinesthetic is mostly hands. That's what kids need. That is a much easier way of learning for a lot of people than just sitting in desks.
Far easier. And
now, I'm not saying... Oh, yes. Now, I am not saying that people who benefit from the current system should be completely discounted.
No,
that is not what I am saying at all. I am just saying that there needs to be more change into something else. Whatever that something else may be. And, like, ever since I heard that, I was like, wait. It makes sense why Albert Einstein dropped out of high school. It makes sense why the greatest minds ever just left.
Or didn't. Because... Also, I hate it when people talk about high school like it was always a thing and that was the only way people ever got educated. Like, none of the greatest minds before about, 200 years ago even knew what the fuck a high school was. Everyone was just like, you either don't know how to read or you're in college. Like, there's no alternative.
And there's no in between. Right. Right.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, it's just that the way college used to work is they used to start from elementary school and work you up to, like, psychology.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Because,
that's some
going to university was like a 8 to 6, like, basically getting a quote-unquote degree. You didn't get a degree. There was no certificate that said, by the way, he's completed yada-yada course. No, the way college used to work was like you just went continually until they figured you were educated.
Wow.
Or you had a private instructor that taught you how to read and write and
right. The private instructor I did know.
Yeah.
Right.
But no,
and that's only for the elite who could afford.
Oh yeah, any education level was in the elite. Or honestly, education was done in the monasteries because the monks were like, you need to know how to read the Bible. Like
that was actually the funny thing is, when I found out recently, like when it first when Catholic Church was like first introduced to Europe, they were like, well, they're praising God, they don't need to know how to speak Italian, so the only way to pray is in Italian. Therefore,
no, it's not even in Italian, it's in Latin.
I'm sorry, Latin. I said Italian thinking Latin. Thank you.
Close enough, but not quite.
Like the only person who can speak Latin in the church is the priest. You want to get prayers, you gotta go to the priest.
You gotta go. And that was the whole deal with why Martin Luther broke away, because he's like, yo, you're not actually teaching. Because what happened was that the church was like, see, we could actually do the things that, like, the Lord tells us to do, or we can make a shit ton of money by telling the people that, you know, if you pay us, we'll absolve your sins. Which is actually what was happening.
Right. The funny thing is, like, even though that doesn't have anything directly to do with the current school systems, I mean, right now, it's kind of reminding me of it.
Well, no, that's the thing, like, it has absolutely everything, because that's what school was for a long-ass time. School, education was not based on, like, test scores. It was based on whether or the fuck you understood what the hell we were talking about. Like, they didn't, the testing you was not, like, testing you was just basically to show, do you get it? Like, it wasn't, did you remember all of it? It was, did you remember it, and do you understand what it means? And it was totally okay if you didn't understand it your first, second, third, fourth try.
Sometimes even fourth, right.
Right, which is usually why people would, like, live in the colleges. Going to college was, like, a career in itself.
That's why, surprise, dormitories, that's what they're for.
Exactly. You lived there, and you would just stay there and be educated, right? I don't want my child to take this test, so I'm just going to do everything within, not even within my legal power, like totally, completely, 100% outside the law to try to, he can't take the test. And that bugs me, and it bugs a lot of actually disabled people, too, because they're like, this isn't something that you should want to put your child through. At all.
Right. Your child shouldn't want to go through that.
Exactly.
Because, believe it or not, you're going to have to sit in that room for longer, and you're going to have to get a lower score for them to believe you.
Mm-hmm.
So, are you sure you want to go through this? You're wasting weekend time. Do you know that you're wasting weekend time? Your friends are out doing fun things with their lives, while people who are actually disabled are sitting in a room trying to better themselves.
Right.
And you're trying to play coy.
Right.
Like a chameleon and blend in. Are you sure you don't just want to take the fast track, you know, actually do the test?
No, just yeet your way out of there. What is wrong with you? And if you're that worried about if you're a parent and you're that worried about your child taking that test and not passing it, like, and you know damn well there's no, like, medical reason they can't pass, you should, one, just accept that you're probably not the best parent. Two, like, that's just first and foremost. If this was like, you know what, fine, then I'll trick the system, or I just simply don't want my child to take this test, then you're a bad parent, probably. You're not the greatest. Two, then either A, blame the school system for not preparing your child enough to pass that test, or blame your fucking kid. Blame yourself and that child.
Yeah. The way we study for tests, or the way that's known as studying, the thing that's known to be studying, you grab your books, you read a bunch of shit, and you make sure you know it, is not actually learning anything.
No, it's memorization.
That's memorization. Memorization isn't learning anything.
No.
Because do you know how many scripts that I've memorized and I cannot recite one word of to this day?
Exactly. I've memorized and I've done the same thing, like whole scripts and monologues. Right. That, like, if you were to be like, hey, remember that monologue you memorized hell a long time ago, not even like a long time ago, like last year. Be like, hey, recite that monologue. I'd be like, fuck you. Go fuck yourself. Like, no, I don't know it. Because it's not about whether or not you understand it. It's not about that. It's about whether or not you can memorize it. And memorization is way easier than understanding. Right?
It is.
Even people who don't have the greatest memories. Like, that's usually the problem with why people, like, get bad grades, even though they try. Like, they just can't memorize shit. But if you talk to them, they pretty much understand what the fuck they're talking about.
Right. You understand. Right. And that's another thing. That's another one of the problems that I find with the systems. Like, okay, if you have a system based off of memorization instead of actually learning the material, then what the fuck are you actually trying to do?
Yeah, what the hell is wrong with you?
What are you actually trying to gear me up for? Like, just to memorize who the president of who the president of last year was, so that I know who I want to choose for next year? Is that what you want me to memorize?
Right,
is that what's going on here?
Absolutely nothing to do.
I 100% disagree. Right.
Right.
That doesn't have anything to do with our society. Why isn't primary school gearing children to be ready for society? I honestly hate the term, quote-unquote, the real world.
Right, yeah.
Because you've been living in this real world your whole life. Mm-hmm. Now, the world will get bigger. It will get more complicated, and it will get fucking crazy as shit.
Yes, it will.
So, why isn't primary school doing things to help logicalize and speed up the process of a child getting used to what the world actually is? I'll be completely honest. When I got to college, when I got here, I was like, well, my parents won't see me do it, so that means it's okay to do.
Right.
And then I remembered that's not being a good citizen.
Yeah.
Picking off a couple of Arizonas in his store, sure, they only lost $3 of profit. But that's not being a good citizen.
It's not.
So what? Your parents won't see it. And no, I'm not blaming primary school for my, heinous endeavors. I'm just saying,
right.
I'm just saying that there's a better way to prepare people.
Exactly.
There are a lot of things that I learned about only after getting to college, which I could have easily learned in high school.
Oh, yeah.
And instead, I had, I don't know how many months of a getting used to period. Oh my god, I actually have to go shopping for groceries.
Yes.
So
much shit that you're just not prepared for, that you're kind of just sitting there
they had cooking class, they had cooking class as an elective. That's a start.
Right.
But why wasn't cooking class a requirement?
I
don't know how to make a casserole. And that's... What if I want a fucking casserole right now?
Exactly. Or what if I only have ingredients to make a casserole and I don't know that?
And I don't know what a casserole is.
Or worse, because, looking up a recipe is not the same thing as knowing how to cook it. There's so many things that they don't put in a recipe that you just need to know how to do. I swear to God, I had a friend of mine who, they were I was helping them cook a meal because they were like, oh, you know how to cook, you can help me. And I was like, yeah, sure. I swear to God, I think we were just making steak, basic ass steak. And I shit you not, I watched them take the steak out of the package and put it onto the fucking tray to bake it on, because we bake steak anyway.
Right.
And literally, they went right there, and they were, about to start seasoning. I was like, what the fuck are you doing? They're like, what? I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Did you rinse it? They were like, no. What are you talking about? Why would I rinse it?
Rinse it?
Yes. People,
did you know you have to clean meat?
Rinse your fucking meat. Rinse everything. You buy it from the store.
Just in case you don't know. Rinse everything. Rinse apples, rinse grapes, rinse steak.
Rinse
everything.
Please, dear God. Oh, and then, to make matters worse, I was like, rinse it. I went back to fucking prepare something else, because I think it was, I was preparing the salad, right? I was preparing the salad. I turn my back. I hear the water rinsing, right? And I hear it going for a while before I hear the sounds of, there's something interrupting the stream. And I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm not really thinking about it. I go up, I finish making the salad. I turned back.
My question is, before you continue, why didn't you do the steak and let them do salad?
Because
salad is like chopping and then tossing.
Alright, I just placed way too much faith in this person. Also...
Okay, real quick, I'm sorry, this also has nothing to do with it, but, like, I just remembered that fucking Power Rangers meme. We're here to toss your salad!
Yes.
Anyway.
God damn it.
Anyway, you should have just let her toss the salad, or whoever.
I really should have.
Should have just let them toss the salad!
But I'm particular about my salad. There's stuff I want in my salad that I'm like, I don't trust this person to
That's true.
Like, I make my salad very
salad.
specifically. Like, I put red onions.
We're here to toss your salad! Are you sure you're gonna toss my salad
also,
right?
Particular people of a specific, racial origin, which I will not specifically name. You can season salad. Just putting that out there. You can season salad. Crazy idea, I know. And with more than just ranch, by the way. Ranch is not the only fucking thing that goes on salad.
Actually, ranch isn't a seasoning.
Let's
get that explicitly
It's a condiment,
clear.
and not everyone likes it. Or can eat it.
Fucking milk.
Yeah.
Anyway.
You can season salad. Anyway, honestly, that's just for everybody that doesn't know that. Yes, there are certain spices that go well on salad, and you should know them. Anyway, moving on with the story. So I'm preparing the salad.
Ta-da.
I finished up with the salad. It's green and beautiful and fluffy and chock full of good old shit. I turn back, and there is nothing but fucking steam in this goddamn sink. And this bitch is rinsing the fucking steaks in it. She'd only gotten started with the first one. And I was like, what the fuck are you doing? I immediately ran, I shut off the water, and I
What the fuck are you doing?
And I ran, I shit
How did you get up there?
How did you get up there? I took the steak and I threw it in the trash. My friend is looking at me like, what's wrong? You told me to rinse it. And I'm like, in cold water. That you never rinse anything food related in warm water. That's like a one-way ticket to salmonella. That is the #1 surefire way to get diseases. Never rinse anything, especially meat, in warm water.
Unless we're talking about dishes. Because
anything food related. If you eat it,
all food, you rinse in cold water.
Cold water. And they didn't know that. And I'm like, please, dear God, the amount of people that will go off into the world and try to cook something that don't rinse their food, don't know to rinse it in cold water, is astonishing.
And,
please.
And you know, high school, you could have taught me that.
Really, really could have. Also, being able to cook pasta is not healthy. Like, that's the only thing you know how to cook.
If you only know how to make ramen noodles, you're not in a good place.
You're really not. You need something else.
And I know, because I've been living off of ramen noodles for I don't know how long now.
Right.
And basically, it doesn't matter how high my metabolism is, I'm still intaking a fuck ton of salt. So what I have to do is, like, balance ramen out with, like, almost, it's 3 liters of water that I keep by my bedside that I've been emptying out consistently.
Yes.
And then even though, like, ramen it's good as hell, but did you know you can put other things in your ramen to make it more healthy? Did you know that you can buy cucumber and chop it up and put it in your ramen? And did you know that the watery flavor of ramen in cucumber is, oh my god,
it's fantastic.
It's amazing.
Also,
amazing.
Like, just for the sake of your own palate, because I know I get tired of eating the same thing 2-3 nights in a row.
Yeah.
But I can't imagine eating the same food for more than, like, a week in a row. I would honestly... What the fuck is the point of food at that point? We got all this shit, and you want to eat the same damn thing. Bitch. Right?
Hey, if you haven't heard, go get your butt up, leave this channel right now, and laugh.
Please God, do it. Yeah. Like, I know we've been talking about a lot of, like, super serious shit, and it's good. Like, we need to talk about these things, and it's really important that we have these discussions. But also, please, if you're going through, like, a rough time right now, or your whole outlook on, like, the world is kind of bleak, you don't have to listen to this shit right now. Go make yourself feel better, and then come back to this. Like, please.
Czechoslovakia, go Czechoslovakia.
Yeah.
I've actually started, I knew about this last year. I found out about it last year because I was really into, watching art tutorials for a while. And this thing called Has Been Hotel is wonderful. Has Been Hotel is basically a rehabilitation for hell.
Oh,
it's like
yeah. I heard about that.
I know I've showed that to you, and I really
want
to watch it. Apparently, it's coming out in June, and I'm so ready for it.
Yeah, me too.
The basic idea is there's an overpopulation problem in hell.
Oh, damn.
which isn't surprising at all.
And none.
So what the idea is that the princess of hell decides that she's opening a hotel to rehabilitate demons and not so happy souls to generally be better people. I don't know where she wants them to go after they leave hell, but I assume it's heaven. But she hasn't left hell either.
Maybe just
so I don't
purgatory.
exactly know where it's going, and what I did was on our channel I have a short playlist currently of I think I named it like I'll laugh at it a second time.
I'll laugh at it a second time, yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. And I have 2 Has Been Hotel clips on there. So
that's so good.
Just go down, check those out. I've got a Soup Store clip in there. You seriously, the original idea of this channel was to talk about some really serious, deep topics that other people aren't as willing to go as deep into, or like just aren't addressed enough.
Yeah.
So like on there's of course going to be our Let's Talk series, which will be fun and games, and then these will be a lot more complex. And thank you for sticking with us this long.
Yeah, really. Like, if you're still listening by this point, we appreciate you so much. We really do. Like, if you're still listening, you're fucking, yeah, you're awesome. You're the shit.
You're a champ.
And don't ever let anybody tell you that you're not, too. In case the audience wants to know, I don't know why you would, but in case you would like to know, I have also been playing. I've been playing one of my favorite games, Naval Action, pretty much this entire time.
You've been playing Naval Action this entire time.
Like no joke.
Oh come on.
Yeah.
My question is, how are you so attentive watching Naval Action?
Like
playing Naval Action.
I'm playing on the PvE server, which is really calm and peaceful, and you don't have to worry about players ganking you, which is really nice. I got way hell far.
Captain!
What?
Look!
Oh, no, oh, fuck, we have so much good shit! No!
Our privacy policy has been updated.
God damn it. That's fucking delicious. Oh, fuck.
I'm gonna quote you saying that later.
It is
fucking delicious.
Delicious. It's so good. But no, it's easy now because I'm just ganking a bunch of NPCs.
We're not gonna edit that out.
I know nobody has any fucking clue what I'm talking about, and I don't care, honestly. That was exciting to me.
I am so sure that people love Naval Action. I'm so sure. I just don't care as much.
Like, it's a very, like, it has a very specific audience. Like, I'm gonna put it this way. If you like Naval Action, you probably like World of Tanks, World of Warplanes, World of Warships. Like, that's the kind of game that you probably like. And there's nothing wrong with it. That's fine. It's just that's who you are. You know who you are.
What are you saying that, like, you're not one of them?
Shut up. Guilty as charged, but fuck you.
Thank you all for sticking with us thus far. This is our second successful post.
Hey, don't be so formal with the sign off. Hey, tell everybody, yo, it was really fun kicking it with y'all. We're really glad that you watched this. If you liked anything, click the like, subscribe, leave a comment, and really tell us your thoughts. What do you think about what can be done to change the system? do you think the system is bad at all? Like, do you just like, nah, fuck that. This school system
right.
is
Do you even give a crap?
Right.
Like,
yeah.
are you the student who's getting straight A's and you wouldn't change it for shit?
Right. Yeah. Because if you're that guy,
so we still want to hear from you.
Please.
We still want to hear from you.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Share this video. Obviously, get that viewer count up. That's what we're going for too, because we want as many people to contribute as humanly possible.
Yeah. These are conversations, not just talking into the atmosphere, because the atmosphere is hot enough as it is, and
it's only gonna get warmer.
And it's only gonna get warmer.
So we don't necessarily need to fill that up anymore. But yeah, we definitely want to fill up your minds and your thoughts with issues that are really important, that are going to affect you, your children, if you decide to have them, us as children's or coming out of childrenness.
Yeah.
And
we're coming out of childrenness now.
We are. We're graduating from the childrenness
stage.
Weird.
That's weird, man.
Crazy. Yeah, if you were born in
2000s babies aren't 2000s babies anymore.
We're not.
They're not babies.
We're not babies, and I still don't know how I feel about it. But anyway, yeah, we're gonna stop talking your ear off. If you're still listening at this point, why? Why are you still doing that? Go do better things with your life. Go be a productive member of society like fucking capitalism wants you to. Yeah, have a wonderful day, all of you beautiful people, human beings, we assume, out there. If you're a dog listening to this, you're the goodest boy. All of you.
You're the goodest boy. And if you're a cat, go knock down some remotes. Go do
it.
We love you.
You know you want to knock that glass off the table. Don't act like you don't.
You know you want to walk all over this keyboard right now.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. But thank you so much for joining us once again. And we will hopefully see you all in the next video. This is James.
And this is Azzy. We are
signing off.
And also, bruh, you kept fucking sniffling for the entire thing. And I didn't realize. You're still sniffling, you asshole! Why are you still sniffling?
And now I'm recording. And luckily, my parents are not actually at home right now, so there's literally no interruptions to my audio.
Unless they show up.
No, they're not going to be back for a long-ass time. They went fishing, actually.
They went fishing?
Yeah.
Shh, hold up. I'm not going to say their names. We need to... Hold on. I want to create some substitute funny-ass names for your parents.
Alright.
And my parents, so that we can actually have someone to refer to.
Okay.
You know what? D-Nice and Aaron. D-Nice and Aaron went fishing.
Oh, Christ. If I became a super senior, or if I had the eligibility to become a super senior, I probably wouldn't be alive today.
Yeah,
D-Nice would definitely have just, removed all the skin from my body with, a butter knife. Not even murder, just straight up torture. Old medieval...
A butter knife, though! I am legitimately terrified at how much force you have to put in to remove anything other than butter with a butter knife.
Also, in fact, here's another thing. It's hot. It's a hot butter knife.